So let me ask you a question. You lived with how long did you live with your girl?
We moved out um sometime in, I think either, I know I started my year in living at the apartment. So sometime maybe like a couple of weeks after the semester started. So probably mid-January or something like
Hmm.
that. And we made it. I don't know when we officially broke up. Okay, because we broke
Okay.
up, but she didn't have anywhere to, like, the first thing was I was going to move back home and she was going to stay at the apartment. And then I'm like, what are you going to do once the lease is up? She's like, I'm going to move back home. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep the apartment. You get the fuck out.
Okay.
So I kept it. And the my favorite part was the cat was technically hers because
Mm.
we were sleeping over a friend's house and we woke up and there's just a whole bunch of kittens on his front door. And she's like, oh, let's take one of them. I'm like, all right, this is your cat, your idea. You got to buy the litter and the food and all that nonsense and so on.
Meanwhile, the
And
other cats are like, "Where'd Ralphie go?"
and when the she was going to move back home, I knew where she lived. Her
Mm.
parents had two birds. And I'm like, what are you going to do with the cat? Oh, I'm going to drop him off at a shelter. I don't know. I'm like, I looked at her, I'm like, mind you, I still cared for this girl, but knew she got to go.
Yeah.
Okay. And this
Yeah.
was when I really knew, oh, she really got to go. Is when she's like, I mean, we had the cat for maybe probably a couple of months now. So, I mean,
Yeah.
how do you not get attached to the thing? And she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna, like, not even like sorrowful. It's just like, I guess put him in a shelter or give him away or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll keep him. I'll keep the cat. All right. Leave the
Hmm.
cat with me. Like, damn, woman. But she didn't officially move out of my house. Well, she moved out, I guess, a couple of weeks beforehand, but her half her stuff was still
Well.
at my place. So she technically did not get out of my life
Hmm.
until July 4th, because that's when her uncle, she didn't even come, which whatever, I don't care. She sent her uncle and her father to grab all her stuff and they took all her stuff and I was done. That's when I always officially stated that July 4th, the year 2000 was my Independence Day. But that's when we officially broke up.
So
I mean,
how long do you estimate? Because the reason I'm asking is because of the whole heat thing that you're mentioning. Because okay, I never lived with a chick. I never stayed with a chick longer than 2 full days. Okay, or she stayed with me longer than 2 full days. And all I can tell you is the whole time I can't tell you how many times I've said the words, "Bitch, you can put more clothes on. I can't take any more off." Like I here's the thing. If two people are in a space and one of them is hot and one of them is cold, the person that's cold just puts more shit back on.
no, we never had that issue.
What?
No. She
Really?
wasn't she never complained about being hot or cold.
Oh,
She never even complained about being hot.
it's weird.
No, we never
Chicks are
that
always
argument.
cold,
No,
constantly cold.
we never
All right.
really had that argument. I
Okay.
mean, the place was lit. I mean, I don't mind the heat,
Mhm.
you know,
Well,
but
I do. I do, dude. It has to be freezing for
oh,
me to fall
really?
asleep.
Really?
Yeah, I can't fall asleep unless it's
Oof.
fucking cold. If it's above if it's 70 or above in the room and I'm trying to sleep, I'm like kicking the covers off. I'm like, "Oh my." I wake up sweating. I can't. I have to be cold when I sleep, first of all. And just day to day, like right now, it's probably like 65 in my house. Like that's where I keep it just normally, somewhere between 65 and 70. But when I sleep, like what I do is I got the base heaters all around the house, so each room has its own thermostat. So I
Mhm.
set all of them to like 65. The one in my bedroom right now is completely off.
Wait, how many thermostats do you have?
Well, and one in each room.
Damn,
So
my
I
I
don't
have
know.
my house only has one thermostat.
Well,
That's it.
you probably have central air,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
That's a different thing. So I don't.
All right.
I have central air, but I don't have central heat. I don't know why, because they got the vents and everything. It's just it doesn't make any sense. So each room has a base heater. So the two bedrooms, I got one in the kitchen, one in the hallway, and then one in the living room. So you can. My point is, you could set each room to different temperatures. When it comes to heat, AC is a central, so you only have one thermostat. But anyway, the point is, I turn that in the winter. I turn that. I don't even turn the heat on in my bedroom. As a matter of fact, there's two heaters in there because off of that bedroom, there's one there's like a smaller bathroom off of that bedroom. The one in the bedroom broke a long time ago, years ago, and I just never fixed it because I never have it on. So I just close that door for the all day. By the time I go to sleep, that door is the whatever temperature it is outside. And which is too cold, but I like it that way when I go to sleep. So, but what I do is I open the door and then I turn the heat up in that little bathroom a little bit, like not even 65, just so because here's the other thing that happens. You go to sleep cold, your temperature drops while you're sleeping. So if you leave it that way, you'll be freezing by the end of the night. But anyway, the point is I have to have it freezing. And yeah,
You want to know what kind of psychopath I am?
well,
So I learned that I need white noise to sleep.
oh, I used to do that too. Yeah.
Like like I noticed that during the summer, I would
Hmm.
sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
But during the winter, I couldn't sleep. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I realized put two and two together. Oh, because during the summer I had the fan on. I have a little tiny space heater that I
Hmm.
put on the heat and have just the heat just blowing in my face like
Yeah.
while I sleep. I'm like, this is luxury.
Oh, wow.
Well, like when I used to work in Staten Island and in
Hmm.
my cousin's uncle's building, and we
Hmm.
used to hang out at the top. And at the top, I don't know what it was. It was like some kind of heater vent or something that would
Hmm.
blow out hot air. So it would be like 40 degrees out. Like my cousin
Hmm.
smoked. So when we would go to the top of the building for him to I didn't smoke, but used to hang around and I
Yeah.
would sit underneath the heating vent. Meanwhile, it's like 40 degrees outside. It just felt awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't sleep with heat blowing on my face. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know.
I would
That's why I
have
said
dreams of somebody farting in my face.
that's why I said I'm a psychopath.
Yeah, I can't do that. But so maybe that's the reason. Maybe you need it warm. You got a chick's metabolism. I don't know. I need it freezing. But the point is, the point I was trying to make is if there's two people, if me and you are in a room and you're cold and I'm sweating, you can put a jacket on. I can't do anything about the fact that I'm warm. There's nothing I can do. Because I mean, right now, and how I walk around the house, I got shorts on and maybe a t-shirt, but most of the time, not even that. If I'm by myself, I can't take any more clothes off than that.
So
I mean, even if I took the shorts off, it wouldn't affect my temperature in any way. It's just shorts.
I've got like a triple extra large sweater and like pajama pants.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. So anyway, but
So
that's that.
I like the heat, but not the oppressive heat. Like anything over 90, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. No, I'm an AC guy. It's in the spring when there's a cool breeze, my AC's on.
Wow, damn, dude.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't.
you ever when you work,
Mhm.
you know, and they have the AC blasting at work, all right?
Okay.
And for me, I walk out, I'm like, oh, heat, yes.
No,
I'll
no,
sit in
no,
my
no.
car, and the car's been sitting in 90-degree heat, and I'll sit there for like a couple moments, like, oh, warming up.
Oh, dude, here's the other thing. So I like it cold. So in the summer, when you jump in the pool and it's hot out, but the water's cold,
Hmm.
I love that feeling that of because you're cooling off. I don't understand the people that have heated pools.
Yeah.
I don't get why you really want to swim in warm piss water. Like I don't. I heat my pool to 90 degrees.
Yeah,
What?
that's too hot.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. The water's supposed to be refreshing. But anyway, that's just me. I guess it's just me, but uh, I anyway, every chick I've ever known was the type like I'm sweating my balls off, and she's got a sweater on, and not only that, she's got the sleeves of the sweater pulled up around her hands, and like I don't understand why there's always cold.
You brought back a good one of my favorite memories.
Oh, okay.
I was dating this one chick. It was really brief. I
Hmm.
don't even know what happened with us. It was like so long ago. I don't even remember. But she came over my house. You know, we did our fun stuff and so on. But she put on one of my sweaters, which was obviously way too big for her. But she had those thigh high socks on, and that's all she wore around the house. And so she's like sitting on my couch wearing nothing but that. I'm like, that for
Mm.
some reason, that memory is seared into my
Oh,
brain.
well, for some reason, I want. Gee, I wonder why. Uh, there's nothing hotter than a chick. Like chicks like to put on like spandex and all this stuff, and yeah, that's fine, and I like spandex, but there's nothing hotter than a chick in an oversized shirt and nothing else.
Mm. No, but she had like these thigh high socks that came like
Yeah.
a couple of inches above her knees that she just kept on. I'm like, yeah, those stay on forever.
Mm, I
And the
got you.
sweater, which like came like just to her knees, and so it kind of covered it up. But I was like, I don't know, just one of those stupid memories that just pops in your head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. To me, there's something hotter about mystery than there is about like. Look, like I said, I like spandex. I like them naked. That's great, but for some reason, the oversized shirt thing
Hmm.
is just it just adds mystery. It's kind of like not seeing the shark in Jaws for the first for the first however many, 50 minutes, whatever it was in that movie.
I don't know, but the oversized shirt is one thing, but the oversized sweater, god damn it,
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
that is
Or
my
or
demise.
like those I don't even know what they call it, like a sarong. Is that the right word?
Oh, what?
What am I trying to say? Um, let's see. I'm not even how do you even spell that?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Anyway, doesn't matter. But me and Onivas were talking about it one day. Sundresses.
Oh, bloody hell, man.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh
Hey, you know
yeah.
what? You know what's funny? I couldn't get the girl that I lived with. I couldn't
Mhm.
get her to wear sundress for nothing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
For nothing.
yeah, yeah.
And
I've known
she's like,
chicks like
I
that.
don't want to wear it outside. Like, then don't wear it outside. Just wear
Yeah,
it in the
I've
house.
I've known chicks like that. That not tomboy, but dress tomboyish, like always in jeans. They don't feel natural in like women's clothes. I don't know how to describe it,
Uh,
but
yeah, that's just well, to each his own. I mean, what can I say? But it wasn't that. I mean, she wore like she when she wore a dress, it would be like the long gown, like dragging on the floor kind of thing below the
mhm.
knees. I'm like, you look like an Amish woman. Like, I can understand not walking outside. That's fine. I get that. But it's like, can you just like in the bedroom, please, for the love of God? But what are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
yeah. I don't know.
Speaking of you and Onivas, you said you were both warlocks, right?
Mhm.
So, did you guys get the succubus
Yeah.
warlock?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me. That's not what I want. Let me
Yeah,
share
succubus was one of
the
the pets. Every warlock had a succubus. By the way,
okay,
we're talking about World of Warcraft here.
yeah,
Yeah, that's her. Yep.
okay. So with the clothed feet
Yeah.
and the horns and the wings and everything,
Uh,
if you summoned one in real life, would you?
probably. Do you remember the movie? What was the name of the movie now? The two girl vampire, not vampire, werewolves. Let's see. All I remember is I watched it with a friend, and every time she went into like she kept changing throughout the movie and becoming more and more werewolf like. And the question on at every step of every stage of her transformation was, "Would you?" and and I think I was like all the way up to fangs and what's the name of it?
Well, the reason I brought it up was I was watching a streamer and they were raiding in WoW just before we came on.
Yeah.
And one of the people had the warlock, that pet that we just showed you, that
Okay.
was just up. And so and I'm thinking, harken back to these memories when I was playing EverQuest Online Adventures.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know how long it would take you guys to get to that pet or what you were like when you first summoned it. I just remember for EverQuest Online Adventures, I was a magician, which is a pet class.
Yeah.
And the first pet I get was just like a ball of water. I'm
Okay.
like, okay. And then the ball of water turned into a cylinder of water. I'm like, all right. And then about level 20, which probably took about a couple of months,
Hmm.
the fucking pet turned into this hot, big titty, big ass bitch. I tried searching for an image of her, but I can't
the,
find one online to show you. It didn't look as detailed as obviously the warlock, the
the
succubus,
succubus. Yeah.
but you could tell that had pointy ears.
Yeah.
They basically took the elf um model and just
Yeah.
made it look like water and so
Uh-huh.
on, but you could see tits and an ass and everything. I'm like, dude, I just spent the next 20 minutes just staring at her. And I'm not even gonna say what I did after. You know, I'm
I'll
like,
be
what the
I'll be
hell?
in my bunk. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Help.
yeah. Yeah. So I found the movie. The movie's called Ginger Snaps,
Ginger snaps?
and this is the oh, hang on, that's not this is the broad. It's two sisters that become werewolves. This is her. Like this is like the first transformation. She's got like gray streaks in her hair and shit. And I wonder if they're gonna show. Oh yeah, and then it's like this, and it's like, would you? I'm like, yeah, probably. But yeah. And then does it get worse? Yeah, but well, by the time
Uh,
you get here, you're like, nah, I think I'm out.
how long did it take for them to turn into a werewolf?
Well, I don't remember exactly. It's been a long time, but it was
Like,
kind of
because
like,
you're saying every transformation would just like because every werewolf movie that I or werewolf anything that I've ever watched, it was like a pretty much quick transformation. It didn't take like where you could conversation, they were always
well,
screaming in pain, and next thing you know,
if I
they're a werewolf.
remember correctly, yeah, I know it's like American Werewolf in London, where
Yeah.
where he changes in the living room. No. There was something where like leading up to the full moon,
Oh.
she started just kind of becoming more and more infected by this
Oh, okay.
werewolfism, and then eventually the full moon comes out and she's full werewolf. But it was a somewhat of a gradual thing. I remember because I remember having that discussion.
Do you ever
But
go to like certain sites, certain naughty sites,
mm,
and they'll have like rule not I guess it could be Rule 34, but it would be like animated GIFs or CGI GIFs, using Blender and stuff.
um,
And like some of the stuff that people come up with, man,
what do
it's
you
like,
mean? I'm not
what
sure I get
the
it.
hell? Like you said, oh, once it turns into a werewolf, yeah,
Mhm.
you're done. But
Yeah.
then you go to those sites, it's
Oh,
like,
and they're like,
yeah, werewolves, uh,
yeah,
actual wolves. I'm
yeah,
like, okay, man.
yeah. No, 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 no. I can't get into the furry thing, but yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's not like furry where it's a dude wearing an outfit. It's a straight up werewolf or an actual um animal kind of
yeah,
stuff and so on. I'm like,
yeah.
uh, is that considered part of the furry
I don't know.
umbrella?
I don't know, but I think I'm just showing. This is one of the stages where I was like, yeah, I'm still good.
Eh,
Yeah, I don't know anything about furries. I really don't. I never looked into it. I don't understand what they do. Every time, here's the thing I think of every single time I hear the word furry, my brain just puts an image of my head in my head of the Shining, that part where the dude in like
Oh
the
yeah.
bear outfit.
Well, exactly. That's what I thought. The fur, because every time I read stories about, like, my favorite story was about the two furries that had sex, and it turned out they were brother and sister,
Oh,
but they're
really?
wearing the
Yeah,
costume and so
yeah.
on. You
This is
know.
what pops into my head every single time I think of
Oh yeah.
furry.
But it's a dude wearing a costume. It's not an
Yeah.
actual animal. I think
No,
that's, I don't know if that
no,
falls under
that's
furry or if that's like,
yeah, no, I think furry has to be people.
uh,
After the if it's anything other than that, it's quality if it's different species.
yeah, I don't know if we can say that word.
What, really? Quality?
Dude, so you say it again. You said three. Well, you're the one in charge of this. I advise you to pull that word, to censor that word.
Why would that word be a problem?
Dude, like the P word, the not predator, but the word describing a
Oh,
predator, you can't say that
ah,
word. They will
yeah.
demonetize and get rid of the video. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think if you can even say the first part, because
Oh, yeah.
I know a dude who loves that show, To
Dude, I
Catch a
told you.
Predator,
Yeah.
and every time he said, even the beginning of the word, and this is the guy that, like, after 15 seconds he starts cussing like a sailor, or like we do.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
but even then he has that word censored,
Mm,
even after 15 seconds or whatever.
yeah.
So
I don't know. All
yeah,
right,
they're
whatever.
very, I know, it's really
Well,
weird how
I
they're,
told you I watched a YouTube video and the person kept saying, um, I forgot the term now. Not fully, was it unfinished adult is what he kept calling because you can't say the K word or the C word to
Mhm.
describe a young person on YouTube. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if this guy was being an idiot, but
Dude,
I wouldn't put it past him.
well, YouTube has so many rules and regulations, but they're so vague.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we want to make them vague so people can't find a way around them." It's like, dude, like, give me a break,
But
man.
dude, having to say unfinished adult in order to describe a a a, a billy goat, a young billy goat, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. Like, we're supposed to pretend those people don't exist. I don't get it. We were never young. We were never um those things. It makes dude, it's so stupid. It's so I can't. I just can't.
Well, I was watching this one video. I forget. He's an ethical hacker that specifically goes after these
Oh, you know
dudes.
what? You just reminded me of something, but go ahead.
And it was under the whole show was about catching them, getting rid of
Yes.
them, and all that. Pretty much catch a
Actually,
predator, but he does it online and so on.
oh, I think I know what you're saying.
I
I
forget
seen
what his
videos
name. Damn,
where
I
he
just
confronts the dude.
no. He
Oh,
does it strictly online and gives the information. Like, he caught this guy who's trying to run for senator. And the guy running for senator was running a site specifically for this stuff. And when he
yeah,
brought it to the police, they're like, "Oh, we can't do anything about it." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And it's because the police didn't get the evidence. I was
yeah.
like, "What kind of lunatic world are we living in?"
I don't know, but I
But
saw this. Yeah.
even though the video was all about doing that and the pretense of, that's good. That's being good.
Mhm.
That's like, one of the goodest things that you can do is
Yeah,
to protect. And even then, they're like, "Oh, we got to censor the amount of times the words were censored." I'm like, damn, man, even in the
dude.
pretense of being good and righteous, and they still censor this stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, damn.
So I want to see if it's the same, if this is the same channel. Um, it's a dude. Hang on. I'd like to find the actual video I watched and not one of these other ones. Son of a B. No, I guess I can't. I got to click on this one. Um, maybe it was on right now. Right now, I'm on Antisocial Warriors YouTube, so maybe it was on my other one. But so I'm not sure if this is the. I'm not sure if this is the same channel, but the this dude like goes around catching or
Oh, no. The one
what?
that I was talking about wasn't a channel specifically about this. It was
Oh,
a guy who does a podcast, and he was interviewing the guy.
yeah.
And
The screen now is the POV of an Indian scam call center location as it's being
guy.
raided by the local police.
This isn't the same guy. I want to find a different one and see if I can
This
find
all
it because
started
we
when I was doing
we
some
could react
research
to that or
in
whatever.
the podcast that I'm talking about is the Ryan Montgomery Show. No,
Okay.
Sean Ryan is the name of the dude who does the podcast, and the guy that goes after these guys is Ryan Montgomery.
Okay.
It was, but he's like a full-fledged hacker, but he started out doing like crazy, unethical stuff, and then he's like he felt bad about it. And he started becoming an ethical hacker, but he was going off about some of the stuff that hackers use to get your stuff, get your
Yeah.
information, and
Yeah.
what he was able to do. Like he was able to like with this little tiny, it looked like a Raspberry Pi with antennas, and
Okay.
he was able to create like a whole boatload of SSIDs for people to connect to. And then
Mhm.
once they connect to those that SSID, bam, he's got all your stuff. He can get your phone information and all that. Like he just went into this whole like rabbit hole of just some of the stuff that they do. I'm like, God damn, I'm ready to turn off all my computers, all my
Oh,
cell
yeah.
phones.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Destroyed by FBI. Okay, here's the one I watched. Yeah. Which I thought was he even gets into their CCTV cameras here. We'll watch this. We'll
Oh, wait,
react to this
is
whole
this the
thing.
guy that goes after the Indian scammers?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of this guy's stuff.
Yeah. It's
Oh
great.
no, I
What
think
you're
this
seeing is
this
a
might be something else. No, okay.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
live
okay.
CCTV feed of a scam call center. And right now, this disgusting group of scammers is laughing at someone they just successfully scammed. And later, the only one laughing is going to
exactly.
be me when I tell the entire office of scammers their real names. But before I do,
I
let me
love
first
that.
explain how I tracked these scammers down and found all of their personal information. If you've ever tried to get your computer fixed, there's a good chance you've heard of Geek Squad.
All right. So anyway, we could watch the whole thing if you want, but is there a way to set? I'm trying to find a better way to do this, but
They're a
anyway.
massive company that fixes pretty much anything computer related, and undoubtedly there's going
long
to
is
be
this
a lot
vid?
of people looking them up
It's
on
20
Google.
minutes.
But
Oh,
scammers
Jesus
have
Christ,
come
dude.
onto this, so you won't
I don't know. We were saying we were going to react to things. I mean,
Well, this is the guy. This guy is hilarious. Hold on. Put yours down.
go ahead.
All right. This guy pretends to be an old lady and then messes with them. Like, look at that. 10 hours late. He'll keep them on the phone for hours and stream it all.
I got you.
Why are you not listening to me?
I got you.
I'm like literally shouting. I'm
It was
literally
the-
shouting right now, ma'am.
Yeah, you don't need to shout. Take a breath.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you heard me before. I have one of the codes. I got
Yes,
this is a
I can
$500
see.
code.
Wait,
Okay.
please wait.
So
Please
I'm gonna
wait now.
I think
please
I can
wait.
get the
No. Oh,
no,
wait. Ma'am, no.
no.
No. No. You don't have to do that. Ma'am, you
Oh,
don't
that's
have to do
great.
that. You don't have to do that.
That's awesome.
Why did you redeem it? Why did you redeem it? Why did you do it? Ma'am, why did you do this? Hello? Hello?
Hey, Abel? Hello?
You did not have to redeem this.
That's great.
You did not have to redeem this, ma'am. You did not have to redeem this. Why did you do it? Why did you do it? No.
See, now
scroll down so we can give his channel out.
Kid Boga, but this is shorts. Like I just didn't want to get the
Yeah.
You saw that, right? That it was 10 hours. He'll drag them
Well, dude,
like
I'm gonna put this back up.
I'm
Well,
trying to get rid of mine.
yeah.
Like
Well,
he'll string them along for 10 hours to like, oh yeah, let me get it. Let me get my he'll just act like a complete moron, like a
so
complete old person, like that doesn't know what they're doing, doesn't know what they're talking about. And then when 10 hours later, when he
Mhm.
redeems it, the guy loses his mind.
That's great. It's always great when anyway. So we work in a call center. Me and you have worked in a couple. So the 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 red place that we were at,
Legitimate call center,
legitimate call center. Yeah.
tech support call centers.
Yeah, legitimate call centers. Um one of the places we were at, the last place we were at before this one, the I would get calls all the time with these little old ladies saying, I got a call from such oh, this is what it was. It was a Sunday,
Oh boy.
and she's telling me that the IRS called her.
Oh
And
boy.
I immediately went scam. And she
Yup.
well, how do you know? I was like, it's Sunday, man. It's Sunday. They don't call you on the phone, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she gives me the number of this alleged IRS. I call them. I have the person sitting next to me call them. We had about 8 to 10 people call them over and over.
Really?
One of them even claimed to be from the FBI. I didn't want to go that far. But he goes, I'm such and such from the FBI and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so then I go to call him again. And apparently he believed the FBI bit because now the number goes to disconnected number. So I felt so good about myself that day. I was like, that's good because every person he left a message for or they're going to call, they just lost all that business. Whoever, all those people that were about to call them and give them money. So that was awesome. But this guy actually tracks down what building these guys are. It like just first of all, you're looking at the CCTV from this hacker of these guys, and I'm trying to skip past because he describes the scam that they're doing and what they're doing. My mom has gotten calls like this. Ma'am, we this is such and such from Amazon. We wanted to make sure we show an iPod, blah blah blah, or an iPad, something for $300 on your account. Wanted to make sure that you didn't to see that you ordered it and blah. Anyway, so hopefully my mom is going to keep doing this because she fucks up now and again. She's not too bright in the first place, and she's old as fuck. So I'm worried that she's going to fall for one of these one day. Right now,
Well, I told my mom stop answering the phone.
yeah, dude, I tell her all the time.
Don't answer the regular phone. Let it go to voicemail. Only answer your cell phone and only answer from numbers that are on your contact list. Do not answer anything else.
Well, right now, so first of all, she won't listen to me with that. She keeps picking up the goddamn phone,
God.
And it pisses me off. And the only good thing about it is she calls me like she's at a point where she doesn't really know what's what, so she kind of has to ask me. So that's good. In other words, she doesn't know her Amazon. She can't log into her Amazon. She doesn't know anything about it. So she would have to ask me. But I've gotten the impression based on her asking me that if she was in control of this stuff, they would already have it. But anyway, so she's gotten those calls. I want to get to hang on.
This was evident from the many pictures I downloaded from the scammers' computers showing payments made
Okay,
via
so he's
credit
logged
card
into
and
their
check for
computers.
some pretty hefty amounts, anywhere from
Jesus.
$55 to
Yeah.
$1,200 or even
So what he does,
$1,500 had been people who
I don't know if I'm just going to talk
Yeah,
about it
that's
and
fine.
we'll skip through.
hold up a check.
What he
just
does
more
is he
proof
pretends
these
to be
scammers
one of
don't
their
have even
victims.
an ounce of
And
remorse.
through their
Regardless of
remote
age,
connection,
they don't care. That's why I wanted
he
to
gets
identify
access
not just
to
the
their
heartless
computer.
scammers.
Oh shit.
And then he gets access to each one of them. He gets access to their CCTV, and it gets great. Anyway.
Their victims make them payable to shell companies in the United States.
Yeah, I'm trying to skip
there were many
past all
such
this.
companies involved in this scheme, and I've blurred their names because I've reported all of them to U.S. federal authorities where they're actively being investigated. I can't show you their names, but what I can show you is a phone call with the owners of one of these
No,
companies.
I'm just going to mute it. Go ahead.
like I've heard so many stories of, yeah, I reported them and nothing
Yeah,
happened. I
exactly.
reported
Nothing
them,
happens.
nothing happened.
Exactly.
Because I'm starting to believe that maybe some of these companies are
Uh-huh.
supported by people in the U.S.
Oh, I'm sure.
and
Yeah.
because whatever.
Yeah,
I'm at
I
the
know.
point where
Scammers.
I've seen so much evil done by
Another type.
everyone. It's just like, okay, I cannot. Like, how do they come up with this scam? Like,
Dude,
you know what I
I don't
mean?
know. I don't know. In this case, I think they're pretending to be Geek Squad on this one, actually. But
Online, and these were Jog Paul and Praful.
he's got their actual names.
Who,
That's
according to
great.
his own LinkedIn page, was the boss and founder of this company and could often be spotted at his desk on the CCTV. Praful ran 2 other companies.
This is so great. I love it.
Private Limited, which would also be used to take credit cards, and strangely, HVP Pharmaceuticals. You'd have good reason to
Like, why
Wait a minute,
is this not,
HPV Pharmaceuticals?
why has this never been on the news?
I don't know. That's the
You know
other
what I
thing. Is who knows if this guy's even legit? Who the fuck knows? But
boss of a scam call center would also run a pharmaceutical company, which leads us to someone named Sarika. She is also a director of this pharmaceutical business, and according to her LinkedIn,
Probably somebody's getting like, hey
pharmaceutical
man, just
industry
leave
is
us alone. Here's some
quite a
here's
surprise
some kickback.
in the same
I love how he's just showing
office where the
pictures of them,
scamming was taking place.
which
As
is
it
great.
turns out, it would be
But it doesn't
Wait,
matter. They're all in another country, so there's really
I know.
I don't think they're ever going to come to the U.S. So
No,
it's like,
it's not. Yeah,
her computer that would
It's-
answer
they're
all
never
of
gonna
my
get
questions.
caught for it.
This file was of her
But
Indian
he
identity
does-
card, also known as an
Yeah, let
Aadhaar
me get
card,
to where
and
he
it
starts
clearly
messing
showed that
with
she
them.
wasn't just Praful's scam. They will get 250 rupees. A currency conversion shows that 200.
Hang on.
Immediately, there were inconsistencies. The IP address of the scammers indicated Noida, while the business address
Oh, here we go.
indicated Faridabad.
Here we go with
Noida
him
and
tracking them
Faridabad are
down.
relatively close to each other and are both located in what is called the Delhi New Capital Region, but
Oh,
are
dude.
essentially different cities. And even if we ignore
Dude,
this, a quick survey of Google
India
Street
is
View
like
shows none of
literally the
the
Wild
since re-
West.
Hmm?
India is literally the Wild West.
Oh
You
yeah,
can get
well,
away with whatever.
there are other videos. The other one I pulled up earlier showed them getting arrested, and it
Yeah,
looked like
okay.
arrested by Indian authorities. But
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Arrested. Oh, I'm doing the quotation marks. Arrested.
But I like how he looks at the IP address, finds the town, looks at Google Maps, and sees that it doesn't match the window outside on the
to be reasonably
CCTV.
elevated based
Dude,
on
have you seen some of India's rivers?
This was pretty much
They have literally rivers full of garbage. Literally, it's just the whole river is just full of garbage.
Yeah, I do remember.
You can't even see the river. It's completely covered in garbage. There's one river that I think is like a holy river that you bathe in, and some toxic chemical company was dumping shit upriver, and people were getting sick. They're like, what?
Yeah, they need the dude from the Environmental Protection Agency that busted the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, okay.
But
they shoot him.
What was his name?
Peck, Walter Peck.
Thanks. I was trying to find it. Every time I tried to think of his name, I just kept thinking Dickless. Yes, sir. It's true. This man has no dick.
I guarantee those guys were arrested and were put right back into the office the next day.
Yeah,
this didn't prove very
doing this exact same thing
on any of the PCs.
Probably, in other words, they got arrested because they weren't giving the cops their kickback.
Yes,
their payoff,
or they just had to make a show of it.
Even worse, none of the computers had wireless cards. Normally, getting the location would be as simple as getting the names and signal strengths of the surrounding Wi-Fi networks and using public databases to triangulate their position. But because there was no Wi-Fi capability, this was rendered impossible.
I do like this stuff.
Dude, this guy's like Mission Impossible, man.
Dude, I love this part of it.
Complete accident.
This is my favorite part.
What I needed. In addition
is
to
the tracking of
cameras, the
who
office
they
also
are.
had an outside view of the hallway leading up to the door of their room. And it was when I was
it makes perfect sense too. Once you get access to the computers, how do people access their CCTVs? Through their computers.
I guarantee you their CCTVs are connected, hardwired.
Yeah, exactly.
That's no problem.
Yeah. So
recordings of this camera angle that I stumbled across,
and
a cleaner opening the door to an adjacent office.
You know that they're not like,
and though it appeared that there was something,
they don't have like a 10th level security there. It's just a
Once the door was
threw everything together. You know, they just want the computers.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have like, you know, cybersecurity team.
Mm-hmm. I love this part too. He basically couldn't. He was about to give up, and then a cleaner happens to open this door to a different office next door, and he gets the name of an actual legit company.
Flipping this image horizontally, it shows us the
Yeah.
name and logo of a business, Story Design. This is a fully legitimate product design agency, and because they only operate in the Indian daytime, likely had no idea they were next to an office full of scammers. But it was the address of this business that I really cared about. And this address pointed me to a shared office space called the KLJ Noida 1. This is a set of 3 buildings, Tower A, B, and C. And it would be in Tower C that the address would indicate the scammers would
And then
be
he confirms
situated.
he actually
But I
has a
wanted to
guy
confirm
he
this,
knows
and
in
it
India
again
go
would
to
be
the offices.
outside window that would help me to do so. In front of the window was a tall building, and to the right of it, a much shorter and smaller one. We can see this exact same structure to the right, or in the case of the scammers orientation, the front of Tower C.
That's why I also like that Shia LaBeouf video when they tracked down where his flag was just from a live stream. And that was great. They actually had situations because the camera was pointed up at a flag so you could see the sky. And then they had planes going by, and somebody brought up the flight patterns. First, they figured out based on which direction the sun was rising and setting, which area they were in. Then they found the flight patterns, and they figured out where they were by the flight patterns. And then they just, it was so good. I never played the whole thing for you, but
I heard that like they actually had to the point where the guy's walking around with a horn.
yeah, beeping the horn through the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
And then somebody else watching the live stream would be like, "You're getting closer. You're getting closer."
by satellite imagery. So we know exactly what building the scammers are in, but what about their room? Story Design's address also had the room number, 921, meaning that through an educated guess, the scammers would either be in room 920 or 922.
All right,
but I
let's-
wouldn't even
let's
have
skip
to
a little
guess,
bit.
because the owners of the KLJ Noida 1 very
So this is his friend now.
The call centers over there, and then to the left, basically in this room. Then there's like
Right place.
one
Dun,
more
dun, dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun,
Dude.
dun, dun.
elevators.
Christ.
We need to learn how to do this.
Floors.
Yeah, right.
This is 922.
You know what? You know what? Okay, that guy that I was talking about, Ryan Montgomery.
Yeah.
How he's like this ethical hacker and blah blah blah. He didn't graduate high school. He made it only to 10th grade. And he was like so into drugs and so on that he just didn't graduate. And I'm like, everything he did was self-taught. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah, exactly. Why?
Like-
I mean, right. Exactly.
You know, I think
All that wasted
Yeah.
being taught shit that you never used.
what I think of the thing is because he's only 29 years old. So obviously he grew up with the internet. I didn't get my first computer until I was like 30,
Oh, okay.
you know, and I think that's the sucky part.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we had computers
Well-
beforehand, but they were like these crappy computers that like took like 5 minutes
Well,
just to
here's-
turn on.
Well, here's the thing, dude. I got my first computer at like, I don't know, 16 or something like that. And and I don't know much. I don't know anything more than you do. So
evidence I needed. I had their exact location, the names of the bosses and the employees, the money mules they would use to launder money, and their companies that were based in India. Instead of idly observing them, it was now time to engage in sabotage. The first thing I did was send a lengthy email to past victims letting them know that they had been scammed and what steps they needed to take to get their money back. And although I didn't get many responses because most people simply don't check their email, there was one response in particular that definitely stood out to me. The reply was
All
from a
right, you're a
lady and
hero.
it
Get
was
to the good
ultimately a
stuff.
happy ending. It still angered me to hear that they were taking advantage of somebody in such a vulnerable position. But it also made me realize that it wasn't enough to
Why
try to
they have
save people from
balloons?
scams that
yeah,
had
I don't.
already happened. I needed a way
Hey,
He
you
probably
scammed your 100th person today. You get balloons.
effective thing to do was a
Exactly.
call flooding attack. This involves
Uh.
sending dozens of automated phone calls every single second directly to the scammer's phone system, which will overload all their available phone lines and make it impossible for anyone
I mean,
else
this
to reach
is
them.
this
As
part is
long as
kind of like
pause,
sending in
pause.
the
Every time the
pizza.
scammer
Pause it real quick.
Yeah.
As much as I want to hate on these guys,
Uh-huh.
it is what it is. Like
Mhm.
the people that send those televangelists hundreds of dollars. I mean, you see some of those guys, they have literally giant
My mom
mansions and
was
so
one of
on.
those people. I understand.
And then there's the snake oil salesman that's,
Yep.
the scams have been running since the dawn of time. It's what are you
amount
gonna
of
do?
The amount of money
know?
my mother sent to these different
Oh my
what they would
God.
call healing ministries
Oh
to
boy.
get some kind of a healing from Jesus.
Have you ever fallen for a scam?
Personally,
Yeah.
no, I don't think so. No.
I mean, aside from the
I
marriage
was trying.
scam.
Well, no, I didn't fall for that one either. But no, I was trying to think because, like we said, with
Oh,
all of
wait,
us.
real quick. You've never like been engaged?
No,
Like,
no.
never? Wow.
No,
Well, that's as far as I got was
No.
engagement. Like
no.
that's as far of the scam that I fell for was getting engaged. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did fall for that scam, the diamond ring scam. Oh my God. That
Did
shit
you?
is a scam. Like I bought her the diamond ring that I bought was
Yeah.
like $900 from Sears.
Yeah.
So when we broke up, she's like, "Do you want the ring?" I'm like, "What am I gonna do with this fucking thing?" I'm like, "Sell it." She's like, "Okay." So she went to a pawn shop. You know how much she got?
No. What?
$100. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
God damn, that's it. And they're
Dude.
like, "Yup, that's all it's worth." I'm like, "Okay." That was that. Okay, I fell for that scam.
Yeah. No, never. As soon as my girlfriend started as soon as topics would come up about future, like distant future, that's when I was out. And by the way, not consciously, I would subconsciously check out. And I'm the type of dude that once I check out, I'm just done. Like it's just,
Mhm.
I don't pussyfoot around. I'm not the type of guy that starts acting like a dick to get her to break up with me. I don't do that shit. It's just like I'm just done, and I let her know I'm done. I just can't. I just can't. Dude, you have to understand that the environment that I grew up in, my parents fucking hated each other.
Oh, really?
Hated each other. Oh, yeah.
I thought they were like all lovey-dovey and shit.
No.
Oh my
No. Like
Lord.
I said last time, or whenever we talked about it before, I'm shocked that my father didn't kill us all with an axe because of the shit that dude went through.
I hear that a lot
Yeah.
from dudes. Even when dudes, love their wives, they're still like, I'm gonna take out, I'm gonna leave for Peru or some stuff like that and so on.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just like one of those. No, I didn't think it was that
N-
bad, dude.
No,
You did
they
not portray.
fucking
You did not portray that it was that bad.
no, dude, they
Oh, wow.
hated each other. Absolutely
Oh,
hated each other. I don't know what it was like. They were married 2 years before I was born.
dude.
I don't know what it was like then.
Mhm.
I probably only remember I have a hard time remembering like when I hear people talk about they remember when they were like 4 years old. I don't think I remember anything up to like 7. Like between 1 and 7, I don't or 0 and 7, I don't remember shit. So
Uh,
I don't know, but so at least 9 years in and then every day beyond that point, they fucking hated each other.
wow.
It
Okay.
was dude, it was it was miserable.
Oh my
It was
God.
miserable. Dude, I never had a Christmas I hate the holidays. I always did as a kid because it would start out nice and you're also talking about an Italian family. So I just pictured it fucking pots and pans flying across the room and
Wow.
it was
Holy Christ.
yeah. So it was well, I mean, I'm exaggerating with the pots and pans because it never really got physical, but the screaming and yelling and shit would get broken occasionally, but it was never physical between the two of them, which I'm shocked because when I think back on some of the shit my father dealt with, I would have had to strangle her. I would
Jesus.
or leave. I'm surprised the dude never left. Like why he stuck around with that. And the only thing I could think of is the environment he grew up under was probably worse than that. Like this was probably heaven to him based on what he grew up.
Or Jesus Christ, dude, give the man some credit.
What?
Maybe he wanted to be around his boy. I mean, fuck, dude.
I mean,
Can
all
you
right,
imagine?
fine.
Damn, man. What the hell?
I mean,
maybe
dude-
didn't want his son to like being
I
like
think I'll tell you, okay, maybe, but I would have rather have visited him every other weekend and had actually had a good time
yeah, but
instead of the shit we dealt with.
do you like obviously when people get divorced, they determine, who gets custody of the child. Do you
Yeah.
think your mom would have demanded split custody or would have like
My father would have had an apartment somewhere. He would have got fucked in terms of alimony and child support, so he would have had very little money, but he would have been happy. And like I said, I would have been able to visit him
No, but
every other weekend.
do you think
and-
your mom would have kept you or he would have kept you?
Well, based on the court systems back then, he wouldn't have got custody. No, he wouldn't have got custody.
Okay.
So,
I
but
was gonna say, don't kids have a choice? But then I remember there was one video I was watching where a kid was 14 years old
dude,
and the mom was married to like a stepdad.
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't go into really what was going on, but the boy did not want to stay with his mom. He wanted to stay with his dad. And the mom called the cops and they're like, you have to be with your mom. He's like, I don't want to be with her.
Yeah.
Well, she has custody of you. You have to be with her. And
Here-
the kid was literally crying
Yeah.
on camera.
Well,
I
here's the
don't
thing.
want to be with her. And the mom's like doing the crocodile tears. You're my son and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
It's-
Well,
it's
if
so
I was
obvious.
given a choice, I would have chosen my father because I mean, when you're a kid, your father's your fucking hero. He's fucking Superman. You know what I mean? Like that's who I would.
Yeah, see, that's where we differ.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so I would have chosen my father. But if I'm my father, wait a minute, I get to be free. He was not that type of dude, though. But the type of dude my father was, I mean, I kind of understand because of his personality that he stuck around because he was the type of dude that you fucking grin and bear it. Whatever the fuck it is, you're a man, you grin and bear it. Like that's the dude he was. So
Respect, but
dude, believe me, I know. I mean, if I could go back in time and I would tell him, look, this is your son grown up now. Listen, buddy, I understand. I'll see you every other weekend. It's fine. But anyway, but yeah, no, it was miserable. Like I said, the Christmas dinner would start perfectly fine, and then my mom would always just come up with just say this like a dig to get at him.
oh, the digs. Oh my God.
That's the only way I could describe it. Like,
Jesus. No, I know
Yeah.
exactly what every dude watching this knows exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
yeah, like
Oh.
whatever it was, like
The day would be going fine, everything's peaceful, relaxing, and
Yes.
she just has to find
Yeah.
something to
Yeah.
like say and just
Uh-huh.
and it's like, why? Why can't you
Yeah,
just
like-
let it go?
We could be eating Christmas dinner, and 3 years ago, he accidentally threw out a serving spoon. He'd be like, in the middle of dinner, well, if we had the serving spoon that you threw out, you know? Horrible, dude. Horrible. But it's because she hated him. Like she hated her life. He hated his. But it was a different time. People just
You want to hear the funniest story
stuck with it. Wow.
about? I remember going to my friend's house, and I think I was either 17 or 18. And when you're 17, 18, the world's awesome. You know, you have
Yes.
no cares
Yes.
whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
And it was Friday night. And I was going to go to his house and we are going to play video games all night long. I was going to sleep over his house, play video games all night long. It's just going to be, because I forget. He had, I think, the Super Nintendo. I forget what game we were playing and everything. It was, it was awesome. It's just going to be an awesome night. Just us playing video games. It's going to be great. Awesome. No worries in the world. So I come over And I was taught to be polite. When you go into somebody's house, you say hello. The moment I
Mhm.
walked into the house, it had that air of like, ooh, something's wrong. So
Yeah.
the mom was in the kitchen, and I'm like, hello, miss. I forget her name. And she's like, hello, Zero. So I go to the living room, not the living room, the dining room.
Mhm.
Well, the room, they had this really long table and chairs, blah, blah, blah. It was where like the big family sat down to eat and everything. We have the big events and shit.
Mhm.
And he was sitting on the table, and dude, the whole table was literally covered in bills. Just I'm like,
Uh,
oh my God. And he had a
yeah.
cigar in one hand and a
Uh-huh.
bottle of
Scotch. Yeah.
scotch, whiskey,
Yeah.
whatever in the other hand.
Uh-huh.
And he's just sitting there staring at these bills. Like, he's taking little sips, taking little drags from the cigar. And so on, hey, Mr. So and so, how's everything doing?
Yeah.
He just looks at me, downs whatever he's drinking, takes
Uh-huh.
a big swig, puffs it out, and he's like, don't ever get married. I'm like, and my friend just came and grabbed me. And I'm like,
Ah,
because of course I'm a dumb kid. I don't know because I haven't suffered what he suffered and everything. I'm like, dude, what the hell was that? He's like, don't worry. Let's just don't worry about it. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
holy Christ, man.
I know
That's
that.
one of those core memories that just like get etched. There's some memories that's like written in the sand and the sea
Mhm.
washes it away, but there's
Yeah,
some memories that's like ding, 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 right into stone. That's
yeah,
permanent. That's one of those memories, man.
yeah,
Carved into stone that's gonna last through the next ice age.
yeah, yeah. No, dude, that's. I mean, all that shit with my parents is etched into my brain. So anytime I got even close to any kind of commit, like I've been in committed relationships, and what committed relationships mean to me is I'm just not fucking anyone else. That's the commitment. That's what I think of it. All right, you don't fuck anybody else. I won't fuck anybody else. Neither of us will give each other crabs. It's great. Um, but anything beyond that, like, what, like I said, why do you have pillows on my bed? Like, bring them home to your bed. Like, why do you need? Well, when I'm over here, and then there's extra shit, and then there's like stuff put in a drawer, and what is this doing in the drawer? Like, that's where I keep my socks. Like, what are you doing? As soon as stuff like that would start happening, my brain, and like I said, subconsciously, I'm not really thinking of this is me thinking back on it. My brain is just like warning, warning, danger, danger, get out. So, and
She
all of a
started
sudden
she started infecting your space.
yeah, but or like I said, the conversation, like if we ever have kids, and what would you name the
Oh,
son? I'm like, I
ugh.
don't know why women want to have that conversation. Like, why? Look, if we ever have, we'll figure it out then, or maybe you'll figure it out because I'll probably be jumping off a bridge. But you find me floating in the East River. But anyway, yeah, no, I to answer your original question, I've never gotten anywhere close. Never gotten anywhere close to
All right.
marriage proposal. By the way,
Smart man.
never ever thought about it. Like even when I was a teenager, I envisioned myself being alone in a house when I'm older, I'm just going to be alone. Like that was my vision. And I guess it worked. I guess that's what I
This
carved
is
out
how
for myself.
pathetic I was up until we broke up. I was always like on the impression that like I was never the type that wanted to like sleep with 100. Like people are like, I've got a body count of 100. I
Yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
wanted to be that. Like
Yeah.
if I told my past self how many women I've been with, I'd be like, ew,
See,
really?
see,
I I wanted to be like one of those persons that found somebody, spent the rest of life with them, grew old with, happy, blah, like the TV bullshit, like all the bullshit that the movies and the TVs and the songs, shove
yeah,
down your brain
yeah,
and so
yeah.
on. Firmly, well, I guess that was another scam I fell for. And then when we moved together, lived in together, I was like, oh,
So
oh,
yeah,
no, no.
well, to tell the whole story, like I said, I keep saying subconsciously because consciously, if somebody would ask me, like I would give like I guess the answer I thought you're supposed to give. Like in other words, I thought I wanted one thing, but subconsciously I didn't. So I just would panic and pull the ejector seat. So because I would always think that, yeah, all right, you find the right one or whatever. And by the way, that never happened. I never found the one I could live with for the rest of my life. That's never there's not in other words, I can't think back. There's not one that got away. Do you have a one that got away? Like you should have stuck with that one?
Oh no.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
I thought it, like I'll be honest with you, even though I was like, oh, she's got to go. If she never went, I would have still been with her. Like if she decided to stay,
Oh.
I still would have been with her. I'd be like, oh, I
Oh,
can't
that
do
the one you moved in with.
yes.
Oh, so I see.
I would
So
have been like your father, grin and bear it, grin and
Grin and,
bear it.
Grin and Barrett. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Grin and Barrett. Yeah, that
Because
was
like I said, even though in my she's got to go. She's got to go. But I still adored her. I still
yeah.
was head over heels for her. You
Yeah.
know? It's like, but in my brain, I'm
Dude.
like, oh, she's got to go. And
So
it wasn't something like the actual breakup was she says something along the lines of you're not turning into the man that I want you to be. And I'm like, well, then maybe you need to find somebody else. Okay, then I guess I will. I'm like, all right, we're broken
yeah,
up.
that's the wrong attitude.
That
Growing
was our
into the
breakup.
man I want you to be. That's
Dude.
the wrong attitude going in.
I don't doesn't matter. This was I don't even know how many years. Oh, 23 years ago. Because 2000 was when we broke up. Well, yeah, okay, whatever.
Now, I will say this because I'm thinking back now because I'm asking you the question about the one who got away, and that triggered my brain into thinking some things. I remember a friend of mine telling me because you know how you never notice things about yourself. Like I could tell everybody else what their problem is, but I could never fix my own shit. Well, I remember my friends telling me,
Welcome to the human race, my man.
yeah, exactly. But I remember my friend telling me, you only go for the ones that make you miserable. Which I guess was from my upbringing because there was this one chick. This was just before I dropped out of high school because I dropped out of high school. I told you that story, but anyway, so I was with her for a little while. The sweetest chick you would ever meet. Two reasons I broke up with her. Too nice. Because for some reason I gotta have a chick that fucks with me, like the ball breaker type chick. That's my type subconsciously. Anyway, the other thing was she wouldn't do anything. Like she wouldn't put out. Like the only thing you could do is like make out with her.
How long were you going with her for?
It lasted like 4 months.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what grade were you in?
I don't know. Maybe I was like 16.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Why? Which part are you laughing at? The fact that it was so
How dare
the fact that it was so long or so short? I don't get which part you're
No.
laughing at.
dude? So
What?
she's only 16, and you're like, you don't put out at 16. It's like, damn. You didn't put out, bitch. So fuck you.
Well, I mean, I couldn't even
At
grab titty.
16. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
How is that hilarious? Like, dude, you got I don't know where you grew up,
Hilarious.
but I knew dudes that were getting laid in junior high.
Dude, I totally understand. But when you think about it now,
Well,
like,
anyway,
now that you're older and you
no,
know,
yes,
I mean,
yes,
I
that's
guess
true.
I guess
That's true.
you don't have any. Did you have any like I had a female cousin and so on.
Mhm.
And if I heard that she put out at 16, I'd find the guy and kill him. I'd stab him. Well, back then, you know.
I got news for you, dude. She was putting out at that age.
Oh no, she wasn't. I assure you. I assure you. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just me that was like, I'll stab the mother. It was her brothers. She had 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
And trust me, dude, they were like,
Okay, but this is the stuff that's going on. Well, okay, so
But still, I'm just saying. I mean, I
No,
know
I get
from a
ya.
boy's point of view, I understand.
I
But
get you.
now that we're older, and you're like, fucking 16-year-old didn't put out, fucking bitch.
Well,
I'm dumping
here's
her.
the thing.
4 months, fucking slut. No, anti-slut.
Yeah, fucking prude. What the hell? 4 months.
That's
Oh.
just. I'm not laughing at
No,
pointed
I get it.
fingers. I think
I
it's
get
just
it.
funny.
I get it. I get it. But anyway, my point was there was that chick and like a couple others. Like he was naming them to me like the ones I would just abandon. You know what I mean? Like I just couldn't deal with. And then the ones I would stick with for a long time were the ones that would drive me fucking crazy. So I had whatever it is that my father had, whatever radar my father used to pick his woman was built into me.
No, it's straight up. You
Yeah.
Your mom taught you this is how
Yes.
women are. And
Yes.
so that's what you're
Exactly.
gonna go after.
Yes.
It's not all past complex kind of stuff. It's just this
Yeah.
is what you're used to.
The ones I
know?
stuck around the most were the craziest. The
Because
absolute
that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
say what you want about people trying new things. They don't. They
Yeah.
generally go for
but
what they're
also
used to.
but also those crazy chicks, they put out.
Well, that too.
Anyway. All right. That's enough of this shit for now.
Okay.